Hello, everybody. It's about that time. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Look at this great big 750 milliliter bottle. I'm sure this was a pricey beer. This is Czig Meister. These guys are up in New Jersey. Rico has sent me several beers from this brewery before. They seem to know what they're doing. They seem to make some really tasty beers. And this particular version here is a 12.3%er. It is a Imperial Stout. And the note Rico sent with this beer says the 2018 edition of the Czig Meister Brontes. 12.3 Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels for 12 months. A whole year in the barrels. So I'm expecting big bourbon notes on this, guys. 34 IBUs. The vintage year is on the label, which is 2018, and it must be a brand new edition that they've done on this one, because there's not a lot of comments or ratings on this beer. He says he purchased at the brewery, and it was $17 for this beer. So they have different variants of this, and such as the vanilla, the rum / coconut, as well as the non-barrel aged version. Well, this one is the barrel aged version. So, like I said, if they're leaving this a whole year, especially if it's a first run barrel that's not had beer in it before, this ought to have big whopping notes of bourbon being in the barrels that long, guys. So, I'm really looking forward to this. And it's $17 a pop, not a cheap bottle to buy, but it's 750 milliliters. This is a big bottle. Definitely enough to share, which I intend to do. The other half's going to get a whole glass of this. And like I said, I'm hoping this is going to have some big off-the-chain bourbon notes being in the barrels a whole year. So hopefully they put them in a fresh barrel, not something that's had beer in it before. So we're going to find out here in just a minute. I don't have a commercial description, so we're going to go with what Rico has sent on his letter. And we have the ABV at 12.3 and IBUs at 34, and it's a 2018, and today is just the 17th of February, so it is definitely should have been done within the last 6 weeks. So, is there anything else I need to tell you about here? I don't see anything. It does have a commercial description on the bottle, but I am not going to read this long list of it. We're just going to go on off the cuff and get this thing opened up and get it into the glass. But this is a big beer, final beer of the evening for me, and I'm sure it'll be the final evening for her too. So let's get it on. I mean, there's nothing else we need to talk about, so let's stop talking and start pouring. Nice little hiss, just a little bit of smoke coming out the top. And while I pour this, let's go down the center on this Whopper. Cheese is a buttery brie, good Havarti Swiss, general chocolate, digestive. Meat is beef, smoked meat, game, and grilled meat. Glassware to pint, Becker, Nonic, tumbler, snifter, oversized wine glass. Wow, I'm getting some aromas already. And it says here, can you sell it for a long time? I can't think of a single reason why you couldn't. About a quarter finger of head on that down the center aggressive pour. Over into the light, I see absolutely none. Pitch black. Looks good in the glass. Let's get it to the nose. Ooh. Guys, I'm getting a little butterscotch on this, so there's a little bit of diacetyl going on with this beer. Big notes of butterscotch. That's not a good thing. That's a crying shame. Wow. The butterscotch is overpowering everything. Man, that sucks. A little bit of roasted malt on this. But I'm not getting anything else on the nose but butterscotch. Damn it. They've definitely got a diacetyl problem going on with this beer with that much butterscotch going on with it. I hate that. I hate that. Man, Rico, I'm sorry, sir. I mean, these guys have got a diacetyl problem going on with this beer. You shouldn't have that much butterscotch. The bourbon should be off the chain on this. I'm not even getting it on the nose. Wow, that's sad. Seems like these guys would taste this stuff before they put it out on the market. Well, and diacetyl is not going to hurt you guys. I mean, it's not something that's going to poison you. It's just going to give some off flavors like butterscotch to the beer. Well, there we go. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Rico. Now on the taste, I'm getting the butterscotch, but I'm getting some bourbon. But the butterscotch is a lingering. Once I get that bourbon taste, the butterscotch takes over. And for a whole year in bourbon barrels, I would have thought the bourbon would have been so overpowering off the chain. So maybe they didn't put it in barrels that hadn't had beer in it before. Maybe that's why they left it in there that long. So I will say this, for 12.3%, I'm not getting a huge overpowering alcohol notes. I can tell I'm drinking a big beer, but seems to be well made other than the diacetyl that I'm getting on the beer. And I hate it for Rico. And I hate it for anybody else that's bought this beer and they're getting this big butterscotch notes, because most of the time, not always, most of the time that will dissipate within the brewing process. But sometimes it does not, and this one is a prime example of that. I mean, the butterscotch is just about overpowering everything, and that's sad that Rico spent $17 on this and bought it at the brewery. Hopefully he got to taste something at the brewery like of this, and it may not have had that. I don't know. He did not tell me. So that's the only thing like that. Hopefully maybe the butterscotch notes will dissipate a little bit as it comes up to room temperature, and we won't have that at the end of the beer when I come back for the final chug. But right now, I'm a little disappointed that he spent that much money for this beer and it's got that much butterscotch going on in it. So, well, let's let it warm up, and then we'll pour her a glass of it and see what we end up with, guys. That's all we can do. It is what it is. Alright guys, I'm back. I've been sipping on it for a while now. This is a diacetyl bomb. Butterscotch is off the chain on this. I hate that Rico spent $17 for this bottle of beer. It's not worth $5. The bourbon notes are not there at all. I was getting a little bit when I first poured it. Now the butterscotch is overpowering everything else in the beer. It's horrible. It is horrible. I'm very disappointed in what I have here in front of me. I don't think this is an isolated bottle that it is. I may be wrong there. If you see this on a shelf, more than likely I would leave it on the shelf. I hate to say that because these guys at Czig Meister usually do some really tasty stuff. I don't know why they did not taste this before it went out of the brewery. It is a very new release, and it is horrible, guys. It is horrible. I don't know what else to say. I would not waste my money on this beer. And Rico, my brother, I do apologize that you spent. I don't know if you got to taste some of this at the brewery and it was better, or if you bought a bottle of it too for yourself. The bottle that I have here in front of me is absolutely horrible. The diacetyl in this beer is off the chain, guys. Sometimes, like I said earlier, it will dissipate a little bit as it warms up to room temperature. This one has not. It's probably gone the other way. It's more butterscotch now than it was when I first poured it. And when I poured her a glass and she smelled it, she looked at me and I said, "What do you smell?" She said, "Butterscotch." This is not something that I would buy. Absolutely would not buy, guys. And even now, all I'm getting on the nose right now is butterscotch. I'm not getting anything else on the nose whatsoever. The butterscotch is overpowering everything. Serious diacetyl problem with this beer. And it's not going to hurt you. I mean, it's not like it's going to make you sick or anything like that. But those flavors and those aromas, a lot of times will dissipate in the brewing process, especially if it's set in some barrels for a whole year. It just blows my mind that the diacetyl is that prominent with it setting in the barrel for a whole year. So maybe the barrel was infected. Maybe it was fine before they put it in the barrel. Like I said, I seriously doubt that I've got an isolated bottle. I could have. I'm not going to say that I don't. But it is if you love butterscotch, you may like this. But this is not supposed to be there, guys. Final choke. Butterscotch is all I'm getting, guys. It's overpowering everything else in the beer. As much as I hate to say it, guys, this is a C beer. And they're lucky that I don't give it a D. As a matter of fact, I am going to give it a D. I would not buy this beer. I would not purchase this beer. I would not spend my money on this beer. This beer is a... It's been so long since I gave a beer a D grade. It's probably a 3, guys. It's probably a 3. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. It's not undrinkable, but it is so heavy with the diacetyl that it's something I would not purchase. So, Rico, my friend, my brother, I am so sorry that you spent $17 for this diacetyl bomb, and that's what it is. It is, it's horrible. It is horrible. Somebody needs to do a big quality check on what's leaving the brewery, especially if they're charging that kind of money for this diacetyl bomb than what you have purchased, my friend. So, yeah, it's a D beer. That's where I'm going to put this, a D. A D. It's been a long, long time since I gave a beer a D grade, especially a craft beer. Usually those are reserved for the macro lagers, stuff like that, or seriously infected beers. Not very pleasant. Not pleasant at all, guys. Beer Advocate doesn't have any score. Nobody has commented on this beer because it's so new. And Untapped has no score either since it's so new. So we don't have any scores. So it's all up to me. And like I said, I would not purchase this if I seen it sitting on a shelf. I would let it sit. I honestly would let it sit. So any of you guys out there that have had this beer, if you've had a more pleasant experience than I have, or if you've had the same experience I've had, let me know what you think, guys. Until we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.